Hi everybody, and welcome to the introductory video to Scales Upscaled. Some of you will know us from our Facebook page and from our work with building and customizing enclosures from scratch, and more of you will also know that we've recently announced that we're going to be expanding into ball python breeding. I kind of just want to outline where we come from, how we got started in this wonderful, amazing, addicting hobby, and what our plans are for the future, where we're going from here. Really, this is going to be the first step in us bringing you along to come along on this journey with us. So to start it all off, Scales Upscaled is literally myself, Donald, and my wonderful feeding my addiction too much wife, Sarah. It's really because of her that even I got into the enclosures and now into the breeding. She actually got her first snake in 2020 before we were married. She got Sev, a red-tailed boa. He was only, maybe 4.5 feet at the time. And boy, we did not know what we were getting ourselves into. Doing more research into the hobby on that species in particular to take good care of him, I mean, it just opened our eyes and our hearts to how interesting and, again, I'll say it, addicting this hobby can really be. You know, I built my first enclosure for Sev. That was actually the December of 2020 as a Christmas gift to Sarah. It was a 6 by almost 3 by almost 2 enclosure made out of PVC. My very first one. It's a little roughed up over the couple last years, but for my first one I was very proud of it. And that's where I got into my love of building enclosures. Fortunately for me, Sarah was becoming a bit addicted to the snakes, and she herself would get a new one early the following year, 2021. From our local pet shop, she purchased this Kenyan sand boa, Zelda. Fun fact about our sand boa, Zelda. Zelda is a boy. When we picked him up at first, he was thought to be a female. Only later, when we got more knowledgeable and brought him to somebody even more knowledgeable then, were we able to confirm that he is in fact a boy. At this point, we decided not to change his name from Zelda because if you know anything about the popular video game Legend of Zelda series, a lot of less than knowledgeable people will call the main protagonist Zelda, and so we've kind of kept his name as a running joke. But yeah, so it was quite a different experience going from taking care of a red-tailed boa to a Kenyan sand boa. I mean, humidity requirements, space requirements, everything about them was so different. And we really had to do our research and due diligence in figuring out how to adapt to take care of a different snake like that. So, and that's sort of our running theme here, I guess, is our expanding knowledge, and the more research we've done on these wonderful animals, the more we've come to love them and different species of them. Speaking of which, our third snake that same year was our first ball python, Shiva. She is the sweetest sweetheart in the world. Got her probably a few months old, and she's grown up since then, and we've taken the best care of all of them as we possibly can as we expand our knowledge. And this whole time, you know, I was able to experiment with their different needs for enclosures, experiment with different hides, humidity requirements, different backgrounds in the enclosures, a whole bunch of different things that I was able to implement in building enclosures for not only us, but for other folks. So I guess that's really when it took off. You know, the end of 2021, we had 3 snakes, we're living in a tiny apartment, and that should have been about the end of it given the space we had, but it didn't stop there. Early the following year, this last year actually, 2022, Sarah picked up Asali from Expo, and goodness, yet another species, so 4 for 4 on different species for our snakes. And, you know, just as the other 3, we loved her the moment we got her. And being a corn snake, again, different requirements, slightly different than the other snakes. And so, you know, we were keeping our minds open, and every day, even when we weren't getting a new snake, learning more and more and more about the hobby. So, you know, we'd go to expos, and it became kind of a running joke that if Sarah went, she was going to pick something up. And that was never truer than our following expo, when we got our second red-tailed boa, Jovi. She, we don't actually know her exact age. It was almost a rescue situation, really, with her, but we knew we wanted to give her a good home, and it gave me the opportunity to build a giant 8-foot by 3x3 enclosure for her. And you know, she now is almost 8 feet long. That's quite an intimidating length to a lot of people, especially who don't know anything about snakes, or, you know, don't know how gentle they can be. So yeah, she's just, you know, 25 pounds or so of pure muscle, and handling her is delightful. It's quite a workout, but she's really is a sweetheart when she lets you kind of, you know, handle her. So, but anyway, that were our first 5, and that seemed like it was going to be it. So we had gotten 1 the first year, 2 the second year, and 3 the third year. Or no, it would have been 2, but that's what it seemed we were gonna stop at. 2 the third year, excuse me. But we didn't. It wasn't long after we got Jovi, I want to say in August, maybe early September, that the switch sort of flipped in my mind about, hey, we have a bigger place now. We, you know, really love this hobby. Why not take the next step? Why just have pets of different species? While we love doing that so much, why not go a step further and start breeding them? So, of course, there are, you know, many different species that you can breed of snakes, varying difficulties and varying techniques and whatnot that are required to breed them. We settled on ball pythons, largely because of the innumerable amount of morphs that are available. The ball python market is astounding in the amount of different color and pattern variations you can mix and match, and there are more being discovered every year. There are some really gorgeous animals out there, and we wanted to take part in that. So I jumped right in and ordered a breeding pair of ball pythons. We'll get into the specifics on them a little bit as we put out more videos and give you more insight into the projects that we're working on. But just know the breeding pair, while they look normal, they do carry some genes that are they're gonna look really cool when they prove out and become visual. So more on that in a later video. But we did pick up the breeding pair. They are Tenebrax and Lucia, are what we named them. It's often been joked about by some of my family that we need to start picking some easier to pronounce and remember names, but what's the fun in that? So anyway, you know, we have very specific plans for the projects we want to work on. I've got 2 more breeder females that'll be on their way to us very soon. Of course, I'll introduce them as well. And you know, we've got some really exciting plans, and we're going to stay small for the foreseeable future. We will be giving more details not only on our individual snakes and the projects we're going to be working on, but what our plans are for the future as we sort of grow and evolve, and we want to take you guys along for that ride. So we would definitely dearly appreciate it if you engage with this content. Leave us a comment down below. Even just, you know, let us know what kind of projects you want to see us work on, whether it be later this year, whether it be 5 years from now. You know, is there a particular morph or combo that you're really excited about and you would like to see us work with? Or, you know, do you have any ideas on what we've talked about so far? We'd love to hear it. We'd love, you know, if you could share the video, get the word out there. We'd like to build up a little bit of a community. You know, everybody's got to get started somewhere, and this is our start.